So good old Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Um, so I think it was like a week or two ago. I can't remember. That's what happens when you're 150 years old. You tend to forget things. Um, but Sarah Michelle Gellar and the Marvel Eternals director is they're making this reboot. No Joss Whedon, which is unfortunate. Um, because he's the one who created the show and knew how to make a good story. And so people were kind of like, uh, uh, but Sarah Michelle Gellar and this sexy beast right here, Jay Marsters, um, comment on Disney's Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot with Marvel's Eternals director, and James Marsters is well, we'll see him in a second. As news spreads about Disney's upcoming Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot, two of the most iconic. What? Was that my phone going off, or is it? Nope. It's just Grandpa hearing things again. Ah, those damn kids. Two of the most iconic voices from the series, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jane Marsters, are weighing in. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure people are. When people think of Buffy, they think of other characters, but for some of them. But when you think of Buffy, when you think of vampire, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you think of obviously Buffy and also Spike. It was just his look was just so different. So he definitely stood out from everyone else. Not to mention he was a vampire. Um, you know, so as news spreads about Disney's upcoming Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the most iconic series, are weighing in. With the series moving forward without Joss Whedon, which is kind of sad. The creator who voice defined the Buffyverse, many fans are skeptical about whether the reboot can capture the magic of the original, or if it. Well, let me just answer that right here. No, it's not. Or if it will fall victim to the same pitfalls that have plagued Disney's recent franchise failures. Yes. Gellar breaks down how the reboot began. Well, it all started on a nice summer day. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who brought Buffy Summers to life for 7 seasons, will reprise her role in the reboot, probably to die in the next, the first or second episode, only to give her the title of Vampire Slayer to a strong black woman. Shared her thoughts on Instagram, posting an image from season 1, episode "Never Kill a Boy on the First Date," with the iconic quote, "If the apocalypse comes, beat me." Beat me. Oh, you guys remember beepers? Oh God, pagers, whatever you want to call them. Alongside the photo, she revealed how the revival came to be and why she ultimately changed her stance on returning to the role. She's like, "I need money. Being married to Freddie Prinze Jr. is only getting me so much in life." What even is he doing anymore? Like I haven't seen him or her really anywhere. I mean, maybe they have been, but they're not like the big names that they were back in the 2000s and all that. It was like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and now there's just actually hang on, hold on, I'm curious. The Girl in the Pool, 2024, Clerks 3. I know you did last summer. Deleted Scenes, Robot Chicken, Mass Effect, Star Wars: The Bad Batch, Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, Border Town, Dragon Age Inquisition, The Trespasser. According to everything, he is still married to her. So I mean, from 2002 to the present, that's a pretty good marriage, I'd say. Um, Also, that's a little preview. Um, 3 years ago, I got a call from my dear friend and mentor, Gail Berman. Uh, who's Gail Berman? She told me that she wanted to sit me down with Chloe Zhao to hear her take on a potential Buffy revival. I was blown away that Chloe even knew who I was. But as I've always done, I told Gail to go piss off. No, I told Gail that I just didn't see a way for the show to exist again. We'd already been aligned on that. But at this time, but this time I heard something different in her voice. She was like, "Sarah, I need the money." And Sarah was like, "Okay, I need the money too. Let's get together and make this happen." Uh, I eventually agreed to go, mainly just to meet Chloe, and our 20-minute coffee quickly turned into a 4-hour adventure. We laughed, we cried, we bled, we talked poetry, we made weird caricatures with our bodies. We we got thrown out of the coffee shop for basically loitering at that point. But mostly we talked about how much this show means to us. And of course it would mean a lot to her. She's Buffy. Gellar was initially firm that the series had reached its perfect conclusion. Yeah. Very seldom do you get a show that does reach that kind of finale where you can leave it off and say, you know what? That was good. That was good. It that was good. Um, but I'm sure people were like, "Hey, are you ever gonna do a Buffy reboot? Because we need reboots all the time now." Perfect conclusion, but apparently Zhao, known for No Man Land and Marvel's disastrous Eternals, made her reconsider. She's like, "I can make you a lot of money because I'm good at making lots of money." While I didn't agree to anything at that meeting, I did shock myself by agreeing to continue the conversation. These conversations did, in fact, continue over the next few years, and eventually we added the incredible Nora and Leela Zuckerman to our little tribe until ultimately one day we landed on an idea. It took 3 years and a combined efforts of Zhao and the Zuckerman sisters, Poker Face, to finally develop an angle that convinced Gellar to return, not only as Buffy, but also as an executive producer. Marsters stays tight-lipped but hopeful. Now, here's the reason why I brought up this sexy beast right here.
Hello, everybody. It's time for another online signing.
Now, you hear that voice? Oh yeah, it's the same guy. Same guy. Praise him, revere him. Um so James Marsters is Zamasu for people who didn't know. Um which is why he's not only did he play a beloved character in Buffy, he also went on to be one of the coolest freaking enemies, villains in Dragon Ball history. Um, but this freaking Chad over here, and people who didn't know, he kind of did this to make amends for the Dragon Ball Evolution movie where he played King Piccolo. Uh, like he's legitimately like a Dragon Ball Z fan, and like when he saw the script and everything, he legitimately knew that like people were gonna be mad, but there was really nothing he could do about it because he doesn't write the script. He didn't have any power over the script or anything. So he saw this after all those years. He saw this as a way to. He's like, oh hey, I think he said he like. I think he's friends or he called up Chris Sabat, and they were talking about a character or something that he could do. And it's like, oh yeah, we've got this Zamasu, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for free. You don't even have to pay me. And but this was all to atone for King Piccolo and fucking Dragon Ball Evolution. This dude's a fucking dude's a Chad. And just look at this jawline. God, like was chiseled by the gods. Um. Anyway, Marster stays tight-lipped but hopeful. James Marsters, beloved by fans for his role as the iconic vampire Spike. Yeah, like again, and I think it's one because his face is just so different than his. Again, that the jawline is just so different from everyone else's. You know, it really makes him stand out. Not to mention his character alone was very different. Um, iconic vampire Spike also addressed the reboot during a live stream autograph signing on his Instagram. While he refused to give specifics, his words showed a cautious optimism for the project. I mean, you know, uh, it's not a good thing for me to talk about the Buffy reboot. I'm sorry if you were here coming here hoping for some news, but in the interest of having the project be the best it can be, it's best that I keep my mouth shut right now. Good man. Good man. I think I'm like everybody. I'm very excited that we're going to learn more about the journey of Buffy Summers and how she saves the world because I think the world needs her. So I'm going to do my part by doing nothing right now. You know, probably the best. Marsters a careful response suggests that while he's hopeful for the reboot's success, he is also aware of how delicate and divisive the project has already become within the fan base. Like, this is a guy who knows how to maneuver around the fans. Like, he's just a really cool, chill, compassionate dude. Like I said, the whole reason he took on the role of Zamasu and offered to, you know, he said, like, I will do it for free, was because he felt so bad about King Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution. And for someone who was a fan of Dragon Ball Z, he knew that the movie was doing this guy dirty. So he's like, I need to atone for my sins in the eyes of the fans. And then he became this amazing fucker right here. Um, so he's just a really cool dude. The Whedon-shaped void. Can those reboots survive without the creator of the Buffyverse? Probably not. It's like how Roseanne really didn't survive without Roseanne. You know, it's just it doesn't work. Or, you know, He-Man, somehow He-Man not surviving. Like, doesn't He-Man like die or something like the first episode? Or Scott Pilgrim without Scott Pilgrim. That'd be like, you know, Naruto, right? The series is called Naruto, and then like having Naruto die in like the first episode. It's like, well, what's the show called Naruto for then? Naruto's dead. You know, so when you don't have the, you know, the main character not there, or you have the creator not there, like I said, like Roseanne or something, you know, it just while Gellar's return is exciting for some, and Marsters' reserved support is intriguing, there's no avoiding the glaring absence of Buffy's creator, Joss Whedon. Whedon, despite his recent fall from grace due to numerous allegations of misconduct, was the singular voice behind Buffy's trademark blend of sharp wit, layered characters, and genre-defying storytelling. Which I would hope that even with the Eternals chick on board, I would hope, because Sarah Michelle Gellar is Buffy, she would know the character better than anyone. So if anyone was going to try to make changes to her character, she could say, no, that's not what she would do. It's like, no, why would she do that? Why would she say that? She wouldn't talk about that. Like, Sarah Michelle Gellar played her for so long. She knows the character inside and out. You know, and I talked about Psych, you know, one of my favorite shows. How like if James Roday and Dule Hill wanted to make like a reboot, they could, because eventually they kind of took over as executive producers, and they know the characters of Sean and Gus so well that they could make a show and be successful with it, because they know the characters inside and out. They know what the fans want. They know what how the story goes. They know the direction, you know, okay, the first act is this, the second is this, and then the conclusion is that. Because I think of Psych, and it's like, there really wasn't a bad episode. There were some that were just less interesting, but there was never a bad episode, because every one of them was entertaining with the wit and the humor and psychic vision time, baby. And this is my partner, Magic Head, or my favorite. This is my partner, Robert Jones, but you can call him Bob. So, with Sarah Michelle Gellar, she knows the character inside and out. So I would trust her, but having the chick from Eternals there, and because they're gonna be whispering in her ear, like, no, no, we want Buffy to do this. But it's like Buffy wouldn't do that. No, no, we know it's best. We know it's best. We did not only created Buffy Summers, but also crafted the iconic supporting cast from Willow's emotional journey to Spike's. Yeah, exactly. That's one reason why Spike had such an amazing, why he was such an amazing character. Not only because James is absolutely gorgeous, that freaking, again, chiseled by the gods, but because of his journey. Like, he's a vampire, but he goes from a villain to an anti-hero. It's not full, on their side, but he becomes essentially good. Um, anti-heroes are kind of like almost like renegades, almost. They kind of do things on their own terms, but they're not villains. They just kind of go about things differently, take things into their own hands. Uh, and so he goes from being a villain and trying to kill things and people to fighting alongside Buffy. So, uh, for it was just really great character development. So, being able to see a villain, it takes it's like, I also, since we're brought up Dragon Ball and all that, like I said the last time when we were talking, it's like Vegeta. The guy comes to Earth wanting to blow the planet up, and then look at him now. The character progression from Vegeta from the start of Dragon Ball to now, going from a guy who was so angry and he wanted to blow up the planet, and destroy everything, and always let his pride get in the way. He slowly becomes a family man, sacrificing himself to save his family, fighting in a tournament to save, not to save his universe, but not only that, but the universe of someone else who he promised he would save. I'm like, complete different Vegeta, and that's because of amazing writing to his character. Um, so the show had amazing writing, had amazing character development, and that's unfortunately something that a lot of shows don't have now. A lot of the nostalgia. They're like, hey guys, you remember this? Well, it's back. But then it lacks any charm or magic or character development that it used to have. So I just hope that if Buffy does come back, the writing will be just as good as it was back then. Spike's evolution from villain to anti-hero. His writing with balanced humor, heartbreak, and horror in a few shows since have in way wait and horror in a way few shows, yeah, since have managed. Sometimes they, it's, you may get some, but far and few. Without him, many wonder if the reboot can retain the magic that made Buffy a cultural phenomenon. No. Concerns over Disney's track record and Zhao's direction. The biggest question mark remains whether Disney, through 20th Century Television, can deliver a Buffy series that respects the source material rather than reducing it to another shallow girl boss property, an unfortunate pattern in Disney's recent output. Director Chloe Zhao involvement, which swayed Gellar, has done little to ease concerns for fans who remember Zhao's last franchise outing, Marvel's Eternals. The film became Marvel's first major box office bomb, widely criticized for its dull, one-dimensional characters and cast overflowing with Disney's hallmark style of effortless, unrelatable, strong female leads. Yeah, and there'd be no reason for that. Like Buffy, she's already a strong female. There'd be no reason to make her into a girl boss. She was already a girl boss, and people had no problem with her. But now it's like, oh well, now the emasculating of the man has to go from down here to up here now. It's different times. We need to be up here, no longer down here. She's got to emasculate every man she sees. Whether it be vampire or human, she's got to emasculate them, put them in their place. because she's Buffy Summers and she don't take crap from no one. You know, she was already a badass. She doesn't need to be put in this girl boss position when she was already a girl boss. But you know, despite Zhao's artistic credentials from Nomadland and Eternals, offered a cautionary tale of how a great filmmaker can still falter under the Disney machine. Can lightning strike twice without the spark? Gellar's passion and willingness to return after years of resistance are encouraging, but Marsters' hopeful silence implies that something worthwhile could be brewing. Is it? Is it now? However, with the Disney machine running the show and Whedon's singular creative voice absent, the reboot faces an uphill battle. Can Disney and Zhao avoid the studio's recent pattern of hollow, agenda-driven offerings? The blah blah blah. Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. James Bond worked because men wanted to be him and women wanted to be with him. If you want female characters to work, write them so that the women want to be them and men want to be with them. They won't, of course, and that'd be recipe for disaster. And again, she's already a girl boss. She's already a badass woman. There'd be no need to write her any different or to make any of the characters any different if they decide to bring characters back, because they were all beloved and they all had their strong points and they were all, so it worries fans when this type of stuff is brought back into the modern era, modern day, because people know, like, oh god, get ready to be told how racism is bad and ready for every male character to be emasculated 5 times every episode. So people are, like, do we really want this? But if she sticks true to what she wants and sticks true to what the show is and what it represents and what it accomplished, and she stays true to her character, like no changes to Buffy, obviously it's several years later, so, with age comes wisdom, but do not change her fundamental personality. She went through so much growth, and changing her character would just be a fucking spit in the face. So leave Buffy the way she is. You just make her older. She's more experienced, but she's going to be the same Buffy at heart. Because I swear to the Dark Lord, if they changed her character, no one's going to like it. No one's going to like it. Because you're fundamentally taking away who Buffy is. And Buffy is not like one of the girl bosses who needs to put the men in their place every 2 seconds. No, she has flaws. She does have moments where she can put people in their place, but she's a flawed person who has a development from going extremely unsure of herself to being confident, to being good at what she does. And even then, when she becomes good, she still makes mistakes, and she's still, able to accept it. And even if she can't accept it at first, she eventually comes around and does finally accept it. So don't take away who Buffy initially is. Because if you do, you're going to feel the wrath of the fans. But, but hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. No, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.